I want to talk a little bit about putting up walls and breaking down these walls and well, a lot of us do this, how we try to guard ourselves from getting hurt. And looking back on this, I really think this started when my grandma passed away. I was really young. She lived with us at the time. She lived with us till I was about maybe 8, and then we had to put her in a nursing home. She was getting sick, and we didn't have the space. We were in a smaller house, 2 bedrooms, and we had a sister, and just how families go. Anyways, so we had to put her in a home, and then she passed away, and it was really hard on me as a child. We were really close. She spoiled me rotten. So it was really hard. And I don't know that I started putting up a wall then, but I know that that feeling sucked. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until later in life, I want to say around my first girlfriend. Guys, we all know how it was with our first like serious girlfriend and that breakup and that heartache and blah, 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 blah. Right? So my first about 13 years old maybe was like my first like real like girlfriend long-term relationship. I want to say we stayed together for like 3 years, so maybe about 16, 17 when we actually broke up, and it sucked. I ended up meeting somebody else quickly after that, that kind of took away that suck, and I told myself I wasn't gonna let myself get hurt like that again. Well, I was wrong. I let myself get hurt again. And then after that relationship fell apart and I was devastated, I like made it a commitment to myself that I was never gonna let a woman control my feelings like that again. I was never gonna get hurt like that again. Which sucks for the next woman in my life, which was my wife. I had a wall up. I was like, I'm going to live my life how I want to live my life. And if you want to be involved in it, this is what I'm doing. And it allowed me to not get hurt, I guess. Or I think. But it wasn't healthy for our marriage, or it hasn't been healthy for our marriage, because I don't ever let my guard down. I don't ever break that wall down. And I don't allow myself to be vulnerable. And that makes it really hard in a marriage when one side is putting their whole heart into it and you're guarding your heart the whole time. And I think maybe this is one reason why I've struggled so much finding God was, I guess, being vulnerable and breaking down that wall and just like completely surrendering my heart. Because I spent so long protecting it, right? I spent so long protecting my heart or protecting my feelings, protecting myself from heartache, that I just won't open up and let anything in. And that's not good. And that's something that I really need to change. I had a conversation with my buddy Big Ron a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me about his divorce and how they split up and stuff. And it's the same story. The exact same story that I'm saying right now. He put up this wall, and he's grew up a very different life, a very rough life, so I can understand where I think his was probably more of a trust issue, just because maybe growing up life, things were so tough, like he's never really trusted anybody. maybe a lot of mine is a trust issue too, because, the whole thing with going to school and my mom forcing me to school and trying to be forced into this box my whole life. Maybe I also put this wall up because I quit trusting people that I felt didn't have my best interest in mind, or I don't know. But after talking to Ron, he opened up to me about all of it, and I was like, man, I'm the exact same way. Grew up two totally different lives. We both equally have this same wall up. And he told me, he's like, man, Tony, I'm really glad you recognize it in yourself when you need to address it now before you lose your wife, before you end up divorced. And he's right. He's right. I really need to be better about breaking down these walls. And I have over the last couple months, and I think that's part of, I'm not perfect. I'm not 100% doing the right things, but I'm better. I think that's been part of my journey with finding faith in God, is just I need to break down these walls and just completely. It was the same thing when I decided to get sober. I just had to completely surrender. Like, you do not have control of this, Tony, at all. You need help. And that help was all my friends and family and everything. But I guess we don't have control of our lives either. We need a little help to guide us and coach us through it. And, that's where God fits into all this. Is, you live by the teachings of God, and you live, you follow the word, and things go a lot smoother.